Jacob Elordi, born the 26th of June 1997, is an Australian actor. His accolades include a Critics' Choice Movie Award and 2 AACTA Awards, in addition to nominations for an Academy Award, 3 British Academy Film Awards, and 2 Golden Globe Awards. Elordi's breakthrough came as Noah Flynn in Netflix's The Kissing Booth franchise 2018 to 2021, and as Nate Jacobs in the HBO drama series Euphoria 2019 present. In film, Elordi gained further recognition for his performance in Emerald Fennell's Saltburn 2023, for which he was nominated for the BAFTA Award for Best Actor in a Supporting Role, and for his portrayal of the creature in Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein 2025, which earned him a nomination for the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. His other credits include the films Priscilla 2023 and Wuthering Heights 2026, and the miniseries The Narrow Road to the Deep North 2025. Early life. Jacob Elordi was born on the 26th of June 1997 in Brisbane to Melissa Elordi, a stay-at-home mother and school volunteer, and John Elordi, a house painter. Elordi's father was born in Marquina, Chemin, Basque Country. He migrated to Australia from Bilbao when he was 8 years old to escape the Francoist dictatorship. Elordi's paternal grandfather, Joaquin Elordi, was from Ondoroa. Elordi has 3 older sisters and grew up in a working-class household. Elordi spent the first 12 years of his life in Brisbane before relocating to Melbourne in 2010 for 4 years while his sister attended the Australian Ballet School. He returned to his hometown of Brisbane in 2013 when he was 16 years old to finish high school. Growing up, he was a talented junior athlete, representing Victoria in both rugby union and basketball, and was a member of the under-16 national championship-winning Victorian basketball team in 2012. While a player on his school's rugby team, Elordi performed in school musicals starting at age 12, starring in productions of Seussical and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and he soon began taking acting classes. He was first inspired to become an actor by Heath Ledger, particularly because of his role as the Joker in the 2008 film The Dark Knight. He also played Oberon in a production of A Midsummer Night's Dream. At age 14, Elordi started practicing his American accent, modeling it after that of Vin Diesel. He also attempted modeling at his mother's suggestion at age 15, but was told he was too tall to fit into the sample clothes. Elordi attended the private all-boys Roman Catholic secondary schools of St. Kevin's College and St. Joseph's Nudgee College, where he felt deeply unsettled. He graduated from St. Joseph's Nudgee College in 2015, and according to Elordi, he barely finished high school. Throughout secondary school, Elordi continued to play rugby until he injured his back during a match, which, according to him, pushed him away from athletics and toward acting. He has stated that after reading Waiting for Godot in a drama class at age 15, acting became his church, and his personality changed as a result. His mother also encouraged him to pursue acting. He was inspired by actors such as Marlon Brando, Laurence Olivier, Daniel Day-Lewis, Christian Bale, and Ledger, and would read their biographies while emulating their behaviors. He later attended an acting school in Melbourne for 1 year and moved to the United States in 2017 at age 19 to pursue a career in acting. Career 2017 to 2022. Early work and breakthrough. Elordi's first experience on a Hollywood film set was in 2017's Pirates of the Caribbean: Dead Men Tell No Tales, as an extra, reportedly as one of the Redcoats. His first acting role was on the Australian film Swinging Safari in 2018, playing the role of Rooster. Elordi co-starred opposite Joey King in the Netflix romantic comedy film The Kissing Booth, which premiered in May 2018 as Noah Flynn, a bad boy jock and the film's primary love interest. Despite largely negative critical reception, the film became one of Netflix's most watched titles in 2018 and brought Elordi to widespread fame. Elordi reprised the role in the sequels The Kissing Booth 2, which filmed in mid-2019 in Cape Town and was released in July 2020, and The Kissing Booth 3, which was released on Netflix in August 2021. In a 2023 interview for GQ, he stated that he had not wanted to make them, calling them ridiculous, and stating that he did them to do whatever the fuck he had to do to become an actor in the United States. He also spoke out against his objectification as a result of the films. After filming was completed for the first Kissing Booth film, Elordi moved to Los Angeles. He helped a friend of his film an audition for a role in Sam Levinson's HBO drama series Euphoria, a remake of the Israeli series of the same name. While occasionally sleeping in his car and couch surfing at friends' houses with little money left and his visa expiring soon, he auditioned for Euphoria himself, with plans for it to be his last audition before moving back home. He was then selected to play Nate Jacobs, a troubled high school football player with an abusive father, whom he portrayed from the show's pilot episode in 2019. Elordi described the character as a narcissist and a sociopath, while Clay Skipper of British GQ referred to the character as an anti-hero. The role was described by Manya Sachdeva of The Guardian as an impressive career pivot for Elordi, and Samantha Burgesson of IndieWire called it his breakout role. During this time, Elordi also appeared in the 2019 horror anthology film, The Mortuary Collection. Elordi then starred in Lance Hull's 2020 romantic drama film Two Hearts as Chris Gregory, a college student and the film's narrator. Entertainment Weekly's Maureen Lee Lanker wrote that his performance in the film was ham-fistedly goofy, while Owen Gleiberman of Variety opined that Elordi was done no favors by being in Two Hearts. He appeared later that year as the son of the title character in the Australian comedy film The Very Excellent Mr. Dundee. In 2022, he appeared as Charlie, a piano teacher, in Adrian Lyne's erotic thriller Deep Water. In the first half of 2023, Elordi appeared as Ian, a British film actor, in Sean Price Williams' drama film The Sweet East, which premiered at the 76th Cannes Film Festival. Williams based Elordi's character in the film on Robert Pattinson following his role in the Twilight Saga. He also starred in the 2023 crime thriller film He Went That Way, adapted from the 1987 Conrad Hilbury novel Luke Karamazov, as Bobby, a 19-year-old serial killer. The film received negative reviews from critics, with Glenn Kenny of the New York Times writing in a review, "Elordi's performance here lacks the discipline he applied to his work in Priscilla and even the wretched Saltburn." 2023, critical acclaim and stardom. Elordi at the 2024 Toronto International Film Festival. In late 2023, Elordi portrayed Elvis Presley in the Sofia Coppola-directed Priscilla Presley biopic Priscilla, opposite Kaylee Spaney in the titular role. Coppola chose Elordi to play the role, partially because of his effect on women during their first meeting, which she found comparable to Elvis's. Elordi was uninterested in portraying Elvis, partially due to the singing and dancing aspect of the person, but was eager to work with Coppola. Priscilla premiered at the 80th Venice International Film Festival, where it was met with positive reception. Gabriella Ferlita of Pink News stated that Elordi achieved countless words of praise for his rendition of The King from critics. His performance was often compared by critics to that of Austin Butler in Elvis 2022. Richard Lawson of Vanity Fair wrote that Elordi carefully calibrates Elvis's appeal and his pill-addled domineering presence, his exacting demands and storms of frightening anger, in a more enlightening take on the man than the one seen in Elvis. In his final release of 2023, Elordi starred in Emerald Fennell's psychological drama Saltburn as Felix Catton, a wealthy and charismatic British Oxford University student. Critics from Empire, the Detroit News, and the Chicago Sun-Times described it as a star-making role for Elordi, while Nicholas Barber of BBC News described him in the film as a revelation, and Marshall Schaffer of Slant wrote that his performance was the secret weapon of Saltburn. For the role, he earned a nomination for the BAFTA Award for Best Actor in a Supporting Role. In 2024, Elordi hosted an episode of Saturday Night Live. The episode received mostly negative critical reception for what critics found to be a heavy reliance on jokes about Elordi's attractiveness. Elordi starred in O Canada, a drama film directed by Paul Schrader, in which he played the younger version of Richard Gere's character, an aging documentary filmmaker reminiscing on his life. Critics noted the lack of resemblance between Elordi and Gere, particularly due to Elordi being about half a foot taller than Gere. His second film role that year was in On Swift Horses, a period drama about LGBTQ+ relationships, in which he starred as Julius, a gambler who falls in love with another man in 1950s Las Vegas. He received acclaim for his work in the film from critics, including Robert Daniels of Screen Daily, who described it as an electrifying performance, and Jordan Searles of The Hollywood Reporter, who said that Elordi gives his best performance yet as Julius, showing his more sensitive, vulnerable side on the big screen for perhaps the first time. In 2025, Elordi played the lead role of Dorigo Evans in a miniseries adaptation of the novel The Narrow Road to the Deep North. He next played the creature, also known as Frankenstein's monster, in the Netflix horror film Frankenstein, directed by Guillermo del Toro. The film had its world premiere at the 82nd Venice International Film Festival and was released on 24 October 2025. RogerEbert.com considered his performance as Frankenstein's creation marvelous in conveying the monster's intelligence, sensitivity, and inherent gentleness, while The Washington Post called it transformative. Both of these roles earned him nominations at the 83rd Golden Globe Awards for Best Actor in a Miniseries or Television Film and Best Supporting Actor in a Motion Picture. His role in Frankenstein also earned him nominations for the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor and BAFTA Award for Best Actor in a Supporting Role. In 2026, he collaborated with director Emerald Fennell again for her adaptation of Wuthering Heights, wherein he starred as Heathcliff opposite Margot Robbie. The film was released on 13th February 2026. On portraying the character depicted as a person of color in the book, Elordi reasoned, "This is Emerald's interpretation of the text, and Emerald is an artist that I respect and admire, and I think her work is really important. So the only thing I think of is how can I serve the truth of my director? And how can I serve the truth of the screenplay that I have been handed?" Upcoming, he will next star in Ridley Scott's science fiction film The Dog Stars, which is currently scheduled to be released on 28 August 2026. Public Image, Elordi at the 82nd Venice International Film Festival, August 2025. By the early 2020s, Elordi became known as a heartthrob for Generation Z in the media. Gabriella Paella of GQ wrote that Elordi had classic, undeniable leading man looks, while Larisha Paul of Rolling Stone called him Hollywood's reigning heartthrob of the 2020s. Elordi also became well known for his height of 1.96 meters, 6 feet 5 in. Esther Zuckerman wrote of Elordi in The Atlantic that he was best known for being very tall, very handsome in a classical way, and having a sharp, strong jawline and chin. Elordi's relationships, including with Euphoria co-star Zendaya, model Kaya Gerber, the Kissing Booth co-star Joey King, and YouTuber Olivia Jade, also received widespread coverage in tabloids and on social media. Elordi was the face of Hugo Boss's Boss the Scent fragrance in January 2022. In March 2023, he became a global brand ambassador for the Swiss watch company Tag Heuer. In February 2024, Joshua Fox, a producer for the KISS 106.5 radio show The Kyle and Jackie O Show, alleged on the show that after he asked Elordi for his bathwater, a reference to his role in Saltburn, as a gift for host Jackie O, Elordi pushed him and put his hands around his neck. As of February 2024, the New South Wales Police Force were investigating the allegations.